A young adult with a simple dream, a caring mother named Carol, and 3 siblings, Cole, Lizzie, and Debbie, who loved him dearly. But one evening, his life changed forever. He boarded the wrong bus, and in a flash, he was kidnapped. What followed was a terrifying journey through fear, pain, and hope. Yet, in the end, destiny had the final word. This is not just a story of crime. It is a story of survival, courage, and the mysterious power of destiny. It was a sunny morning in Lagos. John Bull, 21 years old, prepared for work. He lived with his widowed mother Carol, his younger siblings, Cole, Lizzie, and little Debbie. Carol, a market woman, noticed her son's hurried steps. She called out, "John Bull, don't stay out late today. I have a strange feeling." He laughed, hugging her quickly. "Mama, I'll be back before dark. Don't worry." He left the small compound, never knowing his mother's uneasiness was the first sign of what was to come. At mile 2, John Bull boarded a bus heading home. The bus was crowded, filled with people like him, tired, ready to rest. He found a seat by the window, humming a tune, thinking of buying bread for his siblings. Minutes later, he noticed something odd. The driver avoided the main road. At first, John Bull thought it was traffic. But then, 2 men inside stood up, their voices harsh. "Nobody move. Hand over your phones and money." Passengers froze. Panic swept through the bus. The men had weapons. This was no ordinary bus. This was a one-chance trap. Phones, wallets, and jewelry were snatched. The kidnappers tied John Bull's hands, covered his head with a sack, and shoved him to the floor. The bus drove for hours, leaving behind the noise of the city. Every bump, every turn made him shiver. His heart pounded. Will I ever see Mama again? Will I see Cole, Lizzie, and Debbie? No answer came. Only the roar of the engine. They reached a deserted compound hidden deep in the forest. The victims were dragged out and locked inside a dark, foul-smelling room. John Bull squinted. He saw faces of other captives. Men, women, even a teenage boy. Fear united them. One kidnapper shouted, "Your families will pay, or you will not be released." John Bull's chest tightened. His mother could not raise such ransom. His siblings depended on him. He bit his lips, praying silently that this nightmare would end. Back at home, Carol waited. Night came, but John Bull never returned. She dialed his phone. It was switched off. Her heart raced. She rushed to neighbors, then to the police station. By midnight, the kidnappers called. "We have your son. If you want him alive, bring money." The amount demanded was impossible. Carol cried, and her children Cole, Lizzie, and Debbie huddled around her. Their small house was filled with fear. In the hideout, time slowed. Victims received only water, sometimes stale bread. The kidnappers mocked them, drinking and boasting. One night, John Bull whispered to an elderly captive beside him. The man said, "You are young. Don't give up. Destiny will not leave you here." His words sank deep into John Bull's heart. But torture soon followed. The kidnappers beat John Bull, recording videos to send to Carol as proof of life. He winced in pain but refused to beg. Inside, he repeated to himself, "I will leave here. I must see my family again." On the 3rd day, the kidnappers argued violently. Some demanded immediate killings to scare families. Others wanted to wait for all payments. Their quarrel grew so intense that one of them forgot to tie John Bull's ropes properly. He noticed the loose knot but kept still, pretending to be weak. Destiny had quietly opened a door. Late at night, As most of the kidnappers drank themselves into stupor, John Bull carefully loosened the ropes. He crawled across the dirty floor. A wooden door creaked. His heart almost stopped. But no one stirred. Suddenly, he ran into the bush, barefoot, branches tearing at his skin. Behind him, angry shouts rose. He's escaping. Catch him. Gunshots cracked through the night. John Bull did not look back. He ran, driven by raw fear and hope. Stumbling onto a dirt road, John Bull collapsed. Lights flashed. A police patrol vehicle approached. At first, the officers thought it was a trap. But when they saw his bruises and bound hands, they rushed to help him. John Bull was saved. Not by ransom, not by chance, but by destiny. Using John Bull's directions, the police stormed the hideout. A strong battle happened. Several kidnappers were arrested, and others fled into the night. More victims were freed. The nightmare was over. News reached Carol. She rushed to the station. When she saw John Bull alive, she screamed, falling to the ground in tears. Cole, Lizzie, and Debbie wrapped their arms around their brother, crying with relief. The family was whole again. John Bull returned home, scarred but alive. Neighbors gathered to hear his story. His survival became an inspiration to many. Carol told him softly, "My son, destiny kept you alive. You have a greater purpose." And from then on, John Bull lived differently. He visited schools and communities, warning young people about dangers and inspiring them with his story. He was kidnapped but saved by destiny. Life can change in a moment. Fear, danger, and darkness may come, but sometimes, destiny steps in, turning tragedy into testimony. This was John Bull's story. A story that proves one thing: no matter how dark the night, the dawn will always come.
For more exciting stories, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment, like, and share our links to friends and families.